Good morning, everyone. I'm just hanging outside of my studio. It's a nice day to get out and do some things. So I'm just gonna probably hang outside quite a bit today and just enjoy the day. But just wanted to do a quick video. I had a question. Someone had asked me what audio gear I used and some of the gear that I used to get my tone. So I wanted to go ahead and just talk about that today. And I don't really have anything planned out, as far as scripting or anything like that. So I'm just going to run through my gear and maybe tell you some of my dislikes and likes about it. So anyway, so if you're interested in that, just hang out for a bit and we'll see what happens here. So as far as my audio, what I use as far as the microphone, I have a lavalier mic. It is just on the front of my shirt, and it is a Movo broadcast mic, I believe it is. I was going to get the Shure mic. Shure makes a really nice lavalier, as I do other things, but just decided to go ahead and go for this one. Actually, it was an accidental purchase. When I purchased it at Amazon, I accidentally hit the wrong button and just liked it and never sent it back. So anyway, so I have that, and I am recording directly to my iPhone. And I have an interface. It's a 2-channel Ceramonics interface. It has phantom power, has 2 channels, and so when I record guitar, I have one channel that's my audio mic, the lavalier mic, and then the other is an SM81 that I'm using to mic the guitar amp. The interface is a 2-channel interface. It has phantom power built in. It has 2 XLR inputs. And actually has I don't know what you call them. They're like a input that does multiple things. Forgot the actually what the word they use for it, but it's an XLR input that can function as a 1/4 inch input, for guitars, and it also has an 1/8 inch input. So that is what I use for my audio, and that's what I'm using for video. So have the interface for the audio and the iPhone for the video, and these are by no means professional video. I'm not a video guy. As someone that can't see, I cannot see what the camera is focusing on, so I'm just kind of lining things up with my fingers and trying to do the best I can. So at some point I'll get someone to actually film my video that knows what they're doing, but that costs money. So in the meantime, I'm just going to do it this way. So anyway, let's head on inside and see what I have as far as gear. Alrighty here. So as we walk inside, there's a sign on this door. Let's read this sign. Slow blind child. They're pretty mean to that guy. No, actually, this was just a fun fact. This was a sign that was on my street when I was a kid. When I first moved into this house, I was 3, 4, 5 years old, something like that. And the city put up a sign that meant for cars to be careful, as there were blind children in the neighborhood. But someone, when they made the sign, they just said "slow blind child." And so as I got older, one of the signs fell off and disappeared somewhere, and then this one was about to fall off, and my friend just thought it would be a funny idea to take it and mount it on my door. So let's just go on ahead, go inside here, and see what I have as far as gear. Okay, so here we are at my amp setup. So the amp that I use for my tone, it is a Yamaha DG80 amp. And I've had this guy for a number of years. This is kind of a rare amp. It's not an expensive amp. You can definitely still find them. But Alan Holsworth used this amp, and I guess that's what got me interested in it. And I found it for really cheap on Guitar Center's website. And you can still find them eBay, places like Reverb, probably Guitar Center if you look. It's a nice amp. It was marketed as a modeling amp, I believe. But anyway, yeah, it's just a nice amp. I use like one setting on it. I really don't mess with the others, but it's providing me with my basic tone and my reverb. There's that. And I'm gonna have to hold this interface with my other hand here, so hopefully this is not too bad. So, but yeah, on top of my Yamaha, I have a UD Stomp. Now what this is a delay unit. Alan Holdsworth used this for a number of years. Actually, I think this is his collaboration with Yamaha. And essentially what this is a unit that allows you to combine 8 different delays. And you know, you can apply filter effects, and I forget what else that you can do with it. I know you have filter effects. I think you can do a little bit of modulation. That's right. So yeah, you can get some extremely neat delays out of this unit. A lot of people will ask, okay, well, what about this unit in comparison to the Timeline? Well, it's really hard to compare the two units because the Timeline it has a lot more variety. Now, as far as power, the old Yamaha unit probably will let you do a little bit more. I do know on this unit you can combine 8 different delays. I'm not sure how many that you can do on the Timeline, but essentially what the UD Stomp is it's a unit that has 8 different digital delays. So all your delays are the same. You don't have a lot of the delays that you have on the Timeline, you know, octaves and various different types of delays right there. You don't really have that. So that's, you know, that's kind of a downside to this unit. But what this unit does, it does very, very well. Essentially what it does is it kind of fills out your tone a bit, as it kind of doubles your tone. It's kind of like using a second amplifier without having the second amplifier there. You can hear that a lot in Alan's tone. So anyway, so there's that. And I do have that running into the effects loop of the Yamaha. And I do use that quite a bit, and sometimes I will go through there and play with some of the other presets, and we'll hear what this unit does to the tone when I get to the demo of the gear. So we've discussed what I have as far as the Yamaha amp and all that, and as you can tell, that Yamaha amp has a few knobs missing. They just fell off over the years, and so I've carried this guy around quite a bit. So he's been with me for a while. I do like this amp. It's not really anything to write home about as far as, you know, when compared to, say, my Fender Twin that I do have below this amp. And, you know, as far as the clean tone goes, you know, the Fender Twin of course beats it, but there's, you know, just as the Yamaha amp is a solid state amp, but it's very nice for what I use it for. So anyway, so below that, as we can see here, we have a Fender Twin, and this is, I actually haven't used this in any of my videos yet, so there's no audio samples or anything. But anyway, I really do like this amp. I've had this guy for about 10 years. This is a 68 model. I believe that this is a model that they were when they were transitioning from the black bass to the silver face amps, but it does have the black bass circuit. So anyway, very, very nice sounding amp, extremely warm sounding. Normally what I'll use with this amp is just the amp, a reverb pedal, and I actually have an Echoplex EP3 tape delay that I'll run in combination with this amp, and it just sounds, you know, absolutely beautiful, you know, for clean tones and Eric Johnson type tones. Let's see if I can get to this EP3 over here. As I said, I'm trying to hold everything at once, so okay, sorry about that. So here is the EP3 tape delay. Hopefully you can see that. Really like this guy. Really like this guy. There's nothing like it. So anyway, maybe I'll do a demo and a review of that at some point. But anyway, so as this was more of a what I use to get my tone now, let's go ahead and move on to what else I have. So I am down here at my pedals, and I have a looper and just the Westbury tube overdrive pedal. And the tube overdrive pedal was a pedal that Shawn used back in the early 90s when he was with Powers of 10. And I really like this pedal. They make a pedal that is supposed to be extremely similar to it. I've never compared the two, but it's an 80 TD1. And I believe the only differences in between the two pedals is that the 80 TD1 has an EQ built in, and the Westbury, as hopefully you can tell from this angle, it just has two knobs. One is gain, and then one is the volume, or how much you are pushing it into the amp. It's a fairly big pedal, as I guess it should be since it was made in the 70s. And but it doesn't run off battery. It does have a power cord, but that certainly doesn't bother me. So that's really my only pedals that I'm using. Now I do have a compressor pedal, but as far as pedals, I'm not really much of a pedal guy. I mean, I enjoy them. I just don't want to have hundreds of them. So because I think most of them would just sit around not being used. So anyway, there are websites that will actually allow you to search all of Craigslist at once. And what that does is, that allows you to, instead of searching your local city Craigslist, it'll let you search Craigslist nationwide. So anyway, so that's enough for the pedals. Like I said, not really much to look at there. So I really don't have any kind of complicated setup. As a matter of fact, I don't even have a pedal board. All my friends have always said, well, Blake, you need to get a pedal board. And yeah, they're probably right. I just haven't gotten one. Anyway, so as far as the guitar that I use, see if I can get I don't know the best way to get an angle on this. Maybe maybe that'll work. If not, then I'm sorry about that. But it is a Shawn Vigier. And what it is it's actually, for those of you who don't know very much about Vigier or the Shawn model, it's a excellent guitar. It's got a completely flat fingerboard, and it just plays excellent. And essentially, it's one of the best guitars that I've ever owned. And it's just an excellent guitar. And maybe at some point I'll do a review of that. There's not very many reviews around, so it's probably high time for a good one with some good mics and things like that, so people can get an idea of what it really sounds like. So anyway, okay, so that's really it for my tone and about what I use. And as I said, I'm not a video guy. I'm just walking around and having fun. So hopefully this video gives you an idea of what I use, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And what I'll do in the next video is just do a sound demo of the gear.